Hi, and welcome back to the R2 Hub. I'm really excited today. I'm finally officially announcing my latest project. I'm going to be doing a whole series on YouTube dedicated to just this project, in addition to my other YouTube content. For those of you who know me in person or who have been friends on Facebook with me for a while, you've seen a lot of pictures or videos of the different rides and projects that I've had over the years and what I currently have in my stable. For those who do not know me or are new to my YouTube channel, I will eventually be posting videos of all of my different rides, so please check those out as soon as they're available. However, today is new project announcement day. A while back, I made the decision that it was time for something new. Instead of just shopping around and looking for another cool ride to add to the collection, I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different that had a little more substance. I also wanted to document the process by vlogging the project basically from the start to finish and then sharing it with everyone. But to do this, I needed to set some ground rules. What was the first thing I needed to do? Well, obviously, I needed to set some financial boundaries. Anyone can have a cool car or truck or bike by simply throwing a buttload of cash at it. You could buy an already done project, or if you have enough funds, you could commission a build of your own, or you could simply just buy something new or something that's in really good condition. Which is what I've done more times than not. But this time, however, I wanted to see if an average person who wasn't a certified ASE mechanic could purchase a vehicle that needed a little TLC, then fix it up, and then enjoy it without mortgaging the farm or completely breaking the bank. So a modest budget had to be set. Because really, what fun is it to own something if you can't afford to enjoy it? Second, could a person end up with a reasonably priced vehicle, but yet be somewhat interesting and has some legitimate enthusiast appeal? Basically, could it hit any of the marks of being cool, or a classic, or just plain fun? And then finally, I really wanted to take reliability and cost of ownership into consideration as well. Because, say you purchased a car, and then fixed it up and didn't have a ton of money tied up into it, but then the car is constantly breaking down, or the repair costs are through the roof. How much fun is that, really? We all know that things eventually do need maintenance and or repairs, but limiting the exposure and the risk was something I definitely wanted to keep in the back of my mind. So when it was all said and done, drum roll please, the first ever R2 Hub project car is a 1995 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Convertible. Wah, 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 wah. What? Alright, stay with me here. I'll explain the logic. First, cost. I purchased the car for $2,250. I personally haven't paid that little for a running motorcycle or an ATV, much less a car, for probably like 20 years. However, running may be a bit of a stretch. Does it start, run, and drive? Yes, but not very well. Second, is the car cool? Is it a classic, or is it at least fun to own? Possibly. I've always liked this generation of Cutlass Supremes. Even back in the day, when cars all started to look alike, the Cutlass Supreme had a bit of a style all its own. So is it cool? I'm going to say maybe. Is it Ferrari or Corvette or even Mustang cool? Oh, hell no. But yet it's also not a Camry, a minivan, or any number of other people-moving appliances, so maybe. Is it a classic? Well, again, the answer is maybe. Believe it or not, but 1995 was 22 years ago. That's almost 23 model years old now. In 1992, the year I graduated from high school, the 1969 Camaro hit 23 years old. How's that for some perspective? Nobody's going to deny that the 1969 Camaro wasn't a classic in 1992. Then lastly, is it fun to own? Well, it's a freaking convertible, so yeah, all convertibles are fun. Even the Geo Metro convertible has its moments. So overall, I'd say it hits on the positive side of pretty much all those marks. Then the last thing we wanted to make sure was reliability and cost of ownership. Historically, GM front-drive V6 cars are pretty dependable and fairly cheap to own, if they survived. Well, because this is a survivor, I think the age and possibly the engine option upgrade is probably going to bring the marks down a little bit, but overall, I think it's going to be a fairly dependable and maintenance-free car. So what is a 1995 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme convertible? Well, this was General Motors' W-body platform. It was the same platform that had the Pontiac Grand Prix, Buick Regal, and the Chevrolet Monte Carlo and Luminas. They're a front-wheel drive, V6, multi-port fuel injected, and some of the models even offered a supercharger or a turbo in the case of the Buicks and the Pontiacs. You could, in the earlier models, get an automatic or a manual transmission, but the later years, the manual transmission went the way of the dodo bird, as it pretty much is on all cars these days. Only Oldsmobile was offered in a convertible. This particular car is one of about 300 made in 1995 that was red with the white leather interior. Official GM production numbers for the base engine versus the upgraded 3.4 liter dual overhead cam motor, which is what this car has, aren't really readily available on the internet. In my researching the forums, general consensus is that historically for all of General Motors, the base engine was ordered twice as often as the upgraded engine. Oldsmobiles, on the other hand, were the opposite. The 3.4 liter was in twice as many cars as the base engine. So best guesses are that this car is about one of 200 made with this configuration, but not taking into consideration any audio or suspension options that might have been available at the time. This car came with the automatic transmission, as only the earlier models were offered with the manual. It currently has a little over 139,000 miles, which does seem like quite a few until you do the quick math and figure out that it's only about 6,000 to 6,500 miles a year. So not bad. It appears to be a pretty solid car, but you can definitely tell its age. I haven't bothered to research the documented history of this specific car because I didn't feel it was necessary at this price point and condition. I may look into it later, but the price and current condition were a much higher priority. Other than appearing to have mostly been kept out of the elements, either in a garage or under an awning or tarp, the car really looks like it has been neglected for quite a bit of its life. That brings us to, what are my plans for this car? I feel I need to show it some long-needed love. The first thing I want to do is get it mechanically safe and sound. I want the car to run properly and not be a complete death trap to anyone riding in it. I also want to have confidence that when the car is driven, it will get you to where you are going and back home again, drama-free. The second thing it needs, probably more than anything else, is a good bath. I can't even make a judgment on what cosmetic things need to be done yet because the dirt is so thick. But a complete wash and detail from the top to the bottom is needed. After that's done, then I'll be able to assess what items need to be replaced or refurbished. And then finally, what upgrades or customizations do I want to make? Right off the bat, it needs to have tunes. All of my rides need to have a competent audio system. A complete reworking of the sound system is probably likely. Being that it is a convertible, I don't think I'm going to be going overboard on the system though, because it's just too difficult to maintain a really good sound with the open top. But I definitely want something better than what's stock. Also, I expect that the factory wheels and tires will be taken off and a nice set of aftermarkets are going to be installed. And of course, I'll probably be liquid wrapping the car in some custom color or possibly a theme sometime in the future. But that's all I really have planned right now. However, this is all subject to change. Who knows what other schemes I may conjure up as I get further into the project. So there you have it. the very first R2 Hub project car. I hope you like this latest addition to the fleet and are as excited about the project as I am. I plan to have a quick walk-around video up in the very near future to give you a much better look at the car. And there will be a lot more videos coming up after that. As always, click like below, share the video with your friends, and of course, if you like this or any of my other videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, the R2 Hub. If you haven't yet, check out my other videos. I think you'll like them. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you later. If only I had a better name for it.